Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably really blurry. Classic camera. Wait. Are we good on frame rate? Alright, sick. What up, dudes? What up, fellow intuitives? How we doing today? Yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood right now. I just got back from playing some volleyball at the park, kind of to celebrate my birthday, and sheesh, it's getting to that point, and um, yeah, that was kind of something I wanted to talk about, unrelated to wisdom of the week, but um, kind of just celebrating you, man, like. That's been a big thing for me this past year. I never used to be that cool. I was like, my birthday's not that cool. Like, who cares? But it's like, no, it's literally the day you like came into existence, like, and like the day you bless so many people with your presence. Probably not everyone would agree with that, but like you bless a lot of people, like, I mean, I'd like to say that people think I'm a pretty cool guy, and it's like, yeah, like I've changed a lot of lives for the better, and it's like it's cool to celebrate that and to like think about that. So for my birthday, all I wanted to do, I have like a big volleyball team that I'll play with. And I just wanted to get the squad together to just play some volleyball, and of course, like scheduled this like a week in advance, and like this whole weekend was just crummy, and then today was just beautiful. Like I just went to the park like an hour before, just chill by myself, like listen to some of my old podcast episodes, which I'm like, oh my, I never get to listen to those. Some of those are just like so crazy. Like, I feel like the way that I talk is so different. Like you guys probably can't tell, but I feel like I'm like, that's me. I'm like, that's crazy. Um, but yeah, man, yeah, we got some volleyball going. I forgot that I'm like allergic to grass, so like I'm like I got all this grass on me and like I'm rubbing my eyes, and then I forget, like I don't know if people know this, like if you're a contact wearer, but when you wear contacts, like you get the grass like on your contacts, and then your contacts get super irritated too. It's just all around like not a good time. But we're out here, we're having fun. And yeah, I mean, this weekend was pretty good. I kind of took this weekend to just chill as much as I could. I mean, I'm kind of reaching the point like where I'm like I need a break. Like I really need a break. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting I need a nice long vacation. I got one coming up in like a month or so, so I'm pretty stoked for that. But yeah, other than that, just sort of, doing stuff. I don't know. I guess I don't got too much to say. I was playing volleyball at the park all day today, so I didn't get a chance to eat dinner. So I'm probably gonna maybe cook up some ramen noodles. Just it's like 200 calories. It never fills you up, and then you have to drink like a gallon of water after. But sometimes it's just worth it. Um, but I think enough about me and more about the wisdom, right? I mean, that's what we all came here for. First of all, album of the week, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, greatest hits. Kind of cheesy. I've realized now after I've collected all these vinyl that I don't think a lot of record like critics like the greatest hits albums because it's like it's not the original masterpiece or whatever. I don't know. To be honest, like I just want to have good music. That I can put on my record player. Like, I don't really care about the culture of it, like, I mean, like, listening to an album all the way through, there's something to be said for, but, like, in terms of, you gotta get the separate albums, it's like, no, like, I don't need to do that. I guess shout out my parents, too. They came this weekend. We got to hang out with them. I haven't seen them in a while, so that was pretty sweet. But yeah, let's get right into it. I know you guys are so suspenseful. You probably saw this episode and you're like, "Oh my god, like Jeremy is seeing a girl and her name is Grace." No, you're wrong. Sorry guys. You can click off the video. Not related to anything like that, but it's related to like the term. Maybe you guys did call it. I don't know. I feel like if I were to see that video, I'd be like, "Oh, he's talking about a girl." Like, dang, you know. But no, that's not what it is. No, it's pretty simple and it's pretty straightforward. And it's something that I've been really trying to get better at. And I think this past year I've been getting getting to be better at it. And it's just being graceful to yourself, right? And it's something that I feel like people toss around, like people talk about it, but you never really understand like how does that look? Like what does that look like? And I think it's important to discuss this. Like because so often I hear like just like I'll never forget. I had this guy in college. He was actually on my podcast. Shout out Alex Wank. Really, really cool dude for this. So he's friends with my buddy Ethan Stelzer, and him, and Alex would always like go to the gym together at like 6 a.m., like super early. We're like diehards, and this is in college. Like I don't know what we were thinking, but um, it was fun. Like I enjoyed like going to those because it's just I think I've talked about this before, but getting exercise in the morning, you just get your day going, and you're like you go into work, and you're just like I already got my workout in. Like you just feel like ahead of everyone. You're like, what's up? You know, and on top of that, like you're doing something for yourself too. It's just like all around, it's really good. You get those endorphins heading into work. It's great. But yeah, I used to go with this guy, Alex Wank, and he would always say, because I would always be like humble. I thought I was being humble. And at the gym, like Alex and him could do more than me in pretty much anything. They're just like really strong. And I was like, man, yeah, I can only do like 30s for that. You know, like I'm not like crazy ripped or anything. He's like, dude, don't say that. And I'm like, what? He got like kind of like, you could tell he got like irritated by it. And I was like, what? And he's like, don't be saying those like degrading comments. And I was like, what? Like I never heard that before. And he's like, yeah, just don't say it. And I never really asked him why. But now like fast forward to this point in my life, like 4 years later, maybe, like I totally get it. And it feels like um it feels like it shouldn't really have any implication. Like yeah, you make fun of yourself, right? I recently met a guy out here that he's like, dude, like I mean, yeah, like people don't like when you make fun of other people, but he's like, you can make fun of yourself all you want. And it's like, it's true, but to a certain point, when you keep calling yourself a dumbass, it's like you wonder inside of your head, do you actually start to believe it? You know, I feel like that's worth thinking about a little. You know, if you're constantly like, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. It's like, I always hear this, and this goes hand in hand with the wisdom, but it's like, what are the stories you're telling yourself inside of your head, right? Are they really like healthy, and are they like, um, like for example, I don't know, say you're not the most like confident person, like yeah, like I'm not the most confident, and there's different ways you can look at that, and you can be like, I'm not confident, like I'm the worst, like how do I don't even know how to get confident, like I'll just never get there, right? You're setting yourself up to live this, you're almost like setting yourself up to have a future in which you will never gain confidence. Whereas if you flip the script and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not confident, but these are the steps I'm going to take to get there, and I'm kind of enjoying the journey along the way, like learning about myself and becoming like developing a stronger sense of my identity. It's like stuff like that where you're like, I don't know, it's like having fun with it versus like not having fun with it. It's like I don't know. I feel like that's how life goes for me. It's like you can choose to have fun with anything in life, or you could choose not to have fun. And it's just like, why would you not choose to have fun at all times? Like, I don't know. But this goes hand in hand with the lesson where it's just like being graceful. Like, what does that mean? Like, maybe we should look up the definition. I'm kind of digging like looking up the definitions of these. Okay, graceful, or maybe that's not the word I'm really looking for. Having or showing grace. Sometimes dictionaries are literally the dumbest thing of all time. Like, you can't use the word in the word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Okay, grace definition. courteous goodwill. Oh, what? That's crazy. That's like a really weird way to describe it. But I mean, the other definition, which is, defined differently, simple elegance or refinement of movement. But I love when words have multiple meanings because they really, while they have multiple meanings, they are connected, right? Like in that they're talking about physical movement, like being very graceful and like loose and ooh. But it's the same thing. Those are the same results you get when you have this, right? And this is actually kind of funny because now thinking about it, I was talking about this in Loose Outcomes a little bit. I brought up grace, but I didn't really make it the focus of the episode, right? I actually forgot about that episode, but yeah, no, I mean, this is similar because yeah, like the grace is connected to that looseness, like I talked about, but also just be nice to yourself. It really like, it's weird because in society, say I go up to you and I'm like, you're ugly, like everyone would be like, any bystander, I would hope, would be like, dude, whoa, like you can't say that, but somehow there's a pass in society where it's like, if you tell yourself like you're the worst, right? Like somehow that gets a pass, and that's why Alex was super dope because he just called me out on it. He's like, no, that's not cool. Like just because you're doing it to yourself doesn't mean it's okay, right? So maybe that's something I can do too. Just like instead of just watching all that unfold, just be like, no, like that's so wrong. Like you're wrong. Don't say that. Like because it's just not true, and but it really is all about the stories you tell yourself, like if you tell yourself that, maybe one day you can have like a dream job that you've always wanted or have, whatever it might be, have a family or retire with a lot of money so you can travel, like whatever it is, like if you keep telling yourself that story, that'll probably come true, right? But the scary part about all this is if you tell yourself the opposite, like I'm never going to be able to retire with a lot of money, I'm never going to be able to travel, like you might not be able to, it's like, I don't know, it's I'm not a fan of that. And this was a while back, but I used to watch this YouTuber who's like he was like a CS major at Harvard. And he'd always have like kind of talks like this, just very like philosophical, like talking about like how to just maybe like live the best life you can live, And one thing he said was just like, talk to yourself like your best friend would talk to you, right? Like your best friend would never, and if they do talk to you in like in a degrading kind of way, they're not your best friend, dude. Like that's crazy. That's actually crazy. I mean, me and my boys will like degrade each other in like a funny way. Like I feel like that's something that maybe I feel like a lot of girls don't understand. Like guys will just rip into each other, and that's how you're like homies with them. Like you can be like, you're ugly, and you're like, he'll be like, and then like he'll fire something back, and it's like, oh, like we homies, it literally makes no sense. That's like bro code to the max. But yeah, it's just like your best friend, like, if they had a bad day, how would you approach your best friend? You'd be like, oh dude, it's all right. Like we all have days like that, and it's like, why is like what's in your head? Why would you tell yourself anything different than that? Right? Like it all comes back to like the self-love kind of thing too. Like if you don't love yourself, then you're not able to give yourself that grace. You're not able to grant yourself that grace. And then you just end up like, sort of like, just like, it'd be like, you're just throwing punches at yourself, essentially. It's just like, it's not even, and I feel like that's for so many people, especially Gen Z. Like, I feel like for boomers, man, like, boomers a lot of times, I mean, at least they didn't talk about it. That's the thing. Like, we don't really know because they never would talk about mental stuff. But boomers, I feel like a big problem, at least from what I see in like the movies and history and stuff, is like it would be like one kid bullying another kid, right? And I could see how that could like mess with your mental state, right? Because if you every day someone comes in and you're like, dude, this kid sucks. Like, why are you so short? Why you look like that? You know, like that would be tough. But like Gen Z, dude, the biggest problem of today is like I feel like comparing each other, like comparing yourself to someone else, usually over like social media or something like that. And then you start asking, no one's even commenting on you. It's more of just like an internal, like you reflect the mirror back on yourself and you're like, dang, dude, why do I look like that? Like I'm the worst, you know? And it's like it's like you're inhibiting yourself from reaching your full potential. Whereas if you had that grace and you had that self love of just like, dang, like I'm pretty sweet, man. You know, it's like it's a whole different story then. It really is. Like then the only one that can hold you back are like other people. And even those like you can discredit and not and like you can learn to not even give a crap about those, right? So um that's Grace summarized. I hope you guys enjoyed. You ever get to this point where your mind's just like a like it's just like a it's just like a cloud. It feels like there's just air in there, you know, like nothing else. That's what I'm at right now. Whenever I don't eat for like hours, it's just air. And you like try to do something at a high level, like you try to think about something and it's just not a single thought comes because you're just cooked, you know. That's exactly how I feel right now. So, on that note, I'm going to get some dinner. Hope you guys enjoyed latest episode of Life the Germ. I'm your host Jeremy. I'm a really cool dude. You know, you gotta hype it up. You gotta hype it up. Some people might think that's cocky. You need to give yourself that cockiness a little bit sometimes, you know. And I'm out. Peace.